Greenblood, my friend. The letter we found in Rolf's office was signed by a man whose name I'm familiar with. Herman. I know he's responsible for what happened in this camp, as well as many other crimes. But you look quite busy. Come back and see me when you're ready. Anything else?
I must leave you.
To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
I recently found out that my mother came from your village.
Your mother was from Vignamri. Now I understand why your face seems so familiar to me.
Indeed. She was captured before my birth and sent to the continent.
She was called Arelwyn. Did you know her?
Of course. Everyone here remembers her kidnapping.
Could you tell me more about that?
I was not the head of the clan back then. It was a very long time ago, but I remember the village Denegad. Kidnapped by the people of the sea. All our warriors set off to her rescue. But it was all in vain. Most of them died, including the one she loved. It was a dark day, in which our village lost its knowledge and strength in one blow.
So my father died too. Do you know if any members of my family are still alive?
Yes, Slan, your mother's sister. She then became our Donegad. She was never able to match her sister's talent. Too much knowledge had been lost. Relwyn was a renowned healer across all of Tiafradi. Taking her place was not an easy task.
It's not surprising that she was of interest to the congregation. They probably hoped she could help them find a cure for the Malachor. But all alone, far from the island. She was just a young, frightened woman who had lost all her power.
Do you know where I can find my aunt?
You could try her house, but she's rarely there. She is an elderly woman now, and very much enjoys her own company. She doesn't speak much to me. But others here can probably tell you where to find her.
Thank you, Ulan.
Anything else?
Nothing. I must go.
What do you think of the chief of your village?
He seems quite friendly compared to the others we've run into.
A bit too friendly, if you ask me. A little too concerned with pleasing the settlers.
And you think that's a bad thing?
He reminds me of myself when I was younger. And that's not a compliment. My fear is that he serves his own ambition, and this is often done at the expense of others. There's no one here. Let's go and ask the inhabitants of the village if they know where to find her.
The islanders protect their Donegada. I don't know if they'll speak to some Renaigse.
Don't forget, you are one of them after all.
Renaigse. Do you need help, Renaigse?
Actually, yes. I'm looking for the village Donegad.
Oh. And what do you want from her?
Ulan told me that she could help me to find someone.
Ulan must have wanted to play a dirty trick on you. There's no love lost between Ulan and the Donegad. She says that he loves the people from your island too much. But Ulan saved our village. Anyway, if you want to find her, try heading towards the western plains. I am not sure if she is there right now, but she likes going for walks there.
I'm extremely grateful.
There's a woman over there, surrounded by animals.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
How do you feel, madam?
Well, thank you for stepping in. I don't understand what has happened. Usually these animals accept me. Something must have frightened them.
We are glad we arrived at the right time. We would have been very upset if something had happened to you.
Excuse me, but are you Slan, the Donegad of Vignamri?
Yes, that's me. Were you looking for me?
Yes, we were. If you would allow us, we'd like to accompany you and tell our story along the way.
Very well. I will walk by your side.
This is the story we have pieced together.
I just can't believe it. Yet, if I think about it, your face reminds me of hers.
My mother, or rather, the woman who raised me, gave me this necklace.
Arelwyn gave it to me, to give to her child, and I passed it on to Mrs. de Sade.
It looks familiar. Your father had given it to your mother when they bound. It's good that you are wearing it today. My poor beloved Arelwyn, who died far away from us all, and divorced Tierce. I still miss her so much.
She wanted me to help her die. But I was unable to do so. Someone would have figured it out. I would have been sent back to Ptolemy, and I would have lost everything. So I watched her suffer. And one day she died.
Petrus, I cannot hold it against you for letting her live.
No, you don't understand. I loved her. I loved her, and I didn't even have the strength to end her suffering. She's the only woman I've ever loved.
I never would have guessed.
Everyone loved Arelwyn. She was marvelous. You cannot blame yourself, man of the light. What's more, you brought me her child. For that alone, she would forgive you if she were a monk. All is well now. The child of Tia Fradi has returned home, and with him, the spirit of his mother. You are home, my Magum. Welcome.
Petrus, I wanted to thank you.
Thank me? Despite everything you know about me?
You may have been a bit cowardly in the past, to the point of letting the woman you loved suffer. You were manipulative, and you lied to everyone, including yourself. But thanks to what you've told me, I've been able to find my family and my origins. And for that, I thank you.
My child. What you're saying touches me more than you can imagine. At least I've done something good, for once in my deceitful life. For you, and for her. I hope the Enlightened will remember this when I stand before him.
The valley is vast. We should get to a vantage point if we want to find this expedition.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Over there. Tents. This must be the expedition's camp.
They do not look in very good condition. Let's have a closer look.
Signs of combat. They were attacked. By the look of the tents and the campfire, it dates back several days. It seems they were taken prisoner. I don't see any bodies. No weapon leaves this sort of marking. Perhaps they were wielding magic.
Yes. It is the art of the Donegada. One of the Valley clans was here.
Would you know which one?
One who fights against the invasion of the peoples from your island. I can be sure of nothing more.
Why would they attack scholars? They're not warriors.
They come here as conquerors. This is enough. But they were not killed. Warriors would have been.
This looks like scientific equipment. This must be the Lost Expedition's campsite. This looks like the journal of a naturalist. There are sketches of flora and fauna. There is no doubt. We are definitely on the trail of the Lost Expedition. It seems that one of the team kept a distance from the others. Let's see what we can discover. A trail of blood. That cannot be good. Follow it. More blood. We're on the right path. Keep going.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
A corpse. The clothes cannot be mistaken. It is a scholar of the Bridge Alliance. From the looks of him, I would say he's been dead for days, as we already thought. This isn't the woman whose journal we found. There is still a chance that she remains alive.
This man traded his life for all the suffering of my people.
It was only a scholar, a sage, not a warrior on the battlefield.
Do you think my people see a difference when bridgemen steal our people from their beds? From who do you think all the clans hide dead children?
I lean towards Siora's point of view. The practices of these scholars, so-called seekers of knowledge, are barbaric. Teleme would offer you protection and support.
In exchange for our souls. I think we would prefer to go to war.
I'll search the body. We might find something to help us understand. Here is the isolated camp mentioned in the journal. Everything is in order, but the inhabitants are no longer there. Its position would have allowed them to escape the attack.
It's like being in a crow's nest. The view we have over the valley is an ideal observation point.
It is a journal. That of a woman from the expedition, a certain Afra. She speaks of their research and relates here that she felt watched. She feared an attack was brewing. I believe she was right. The writing stops mid-sentence.
Let's hope she's still alive, as well as her colleagues, or our mission will be a short one.
We must follow the tracks of the attack. They will certainly lead us to our party of intrepid scientists.
This woman was right to fear the Donea Exregao. They must have followed this path coming from the swamp. This is where we should go if we want to find these lion scholars.
Look, those are islanders. They might be from the clan that attacked the Bridger camp.
That's possible. They look like trackers. But what are they tracking?
New prey, no doubt.
Renaise!
We won't let you take us. We will not kneel down without a fight.
Wait! We have no desire to fight you. We only want to find the Lion Sages. They are not warriors, but their chief is ready to send an army of warriors to liberate them. If you help us bring them back, you will save your tribe from a costly battle in lives.
He speaks truly. Look, one of them is already eager to bring lion warriors back to us.
All we wanted was for them to tell us where our brothers are being kept.
What good is this if we must leave our camp behind? Very well. Stay away from the main entrance. Our guards will not welcome your arrival.
Pass around. There is a smaller entrance hidden there. The lions are kept in a home in ruins.
There must be a key somewhere to open the door, but I know not where it is kept.
I'm not here to kill you.
Tell me then, what is your intended purpose?
We were sent to look for you.
Apologies, but allow me to express my doubts.
Well, after this little swim, you could always try to pull the trigger.
Who sent you to find me?
We were not looking for you in particular, but the entire expedition. It was Governor Burham who asked us to find you. He's worried about you. You haven't been reporting.
You should have said that straight away. I must admit, I was hoping for a rescue. Of a different nature. Do you have a name?
Desade. I'm from the congregation.
The new governor's cousin. Who wears an islander face. I've heard stories about you. And them?
Captain Vasco. Though I realize I am quite far from the sea.
I am Siora, daughter of Bladnid. From the people that your own capture and torture.
I've never taken anyone. On the contrary, we had hoped to exchange our knowledge with your own.
Bishop Petrus, if our young friend hadn't insisted on coming here, I would have gladly let you rot in this marsh.
Behold the charity of the enlightened, huh?
Kurt. Simply Kurt. I protect our excellencies back. And if one of your violent fits overcomes you, rescue party or not, I will kill you.
This is a rather odd group. I am Afra, a scholar from the Bridge Alliance. It is rather rare to find me rolling in the marshes. I study the fauna and flora of this isle. I should imagine you have many questions.
Have you made progress in your search for a cure?
We were studying some quite remarkable plants when we were attacked. The region is rife in unknown and novel species. Some seem incredibly promising. The local shamans know all these plants and they use them in their remedies. If only we had been able to converse with them rather than getting ourselves captured.
What has happened since the attack? How long have you been in these marshes?
We were taken prisoner and were brought to a village nearby. I was able to escape while the others were taken to a house that they use as a prison. I wanted to join the Bridge Alliance frontier post not far from here, but I wasn't able. So I doubled back to keep watch of the village from a distance. I have been hoping to find a way to free my companions, without any success so far.
We saw the site where you were attacked. What exactly happened?
We were taken by surprise. One moment everything was calm, and the next a war party of natives fell upon us. I had an uneasy feeling and kept myself apart, but when I heard my fellow scholars shout, I rushed over. Most of my companions are incapable of defending themselves, and we didn't have guards to protect us. One of them tried to flee, but they brought him down. We decided to give ourselves up to avoid a massacre.
Could you lead us to the village where your colleagues are being held prisoner?
Certainly. We are, oh, so very close. And I fully intend to participate in this rescue. I'm not one to sit around and twiddle thumbs.
This is where the natives took your colleagues?
Yes, it is here. These ruins are being used as a camp by the native raiders.
There are so many of them. Better to remain discreet.
I have spied on the camp and discovered where my colleagues are being held. They are being kept in the old walls of the main ruin. I would rather avoid unwarranted. We should wait until nightfall and look around the camp to find a more discreet way to get inside.
Indeed. It would be wiser than trying to get in through the gate.
Protect me in this battle!
said as they were about to lock my companions inside a cell. We're going to need a key.
Please, Onol Manawi, let's try to avoid a fight. Afra, is that you?
Come quickly. We don't have much time. Thank you for your help.
Do not thank me yet. We are still in a shipload of danger.
Now, we must find a way to get out of this valley without putting my companions in...
Trakarid, mercy, you have defeated us. Spare us our lives.
If you spare them, they will only hunt us down until we are all dead.
No, you have our word. We have been bested. We will let you move on in peace.
How can we trust you? You attacked our camp when we were not even armed.
They are savages. They had us caged like beasts.
We only sought to learn where you have caged our people.
Spare their lives. I beg you. They were only fighting to save the lives of those that have disappeared.
Very well. Leave. And I hope you keep your word.
Thank you, Onol Manawi. I have spoken, and I will honor my words, Kwa awalam seg.
We are no longer in danger. Thank you for your help, Desade.
I must admit, the reasons for my being here are not entirely selfless. Your research to find a remedy against the Malachor could save many lives in our cities as well.
You speak like a true man of science. Cut to the point. Then you'll be thrilled. Your heroic efforts to save us from those savages could help. We've made a discovery.
Is that right? In that case, we need to speak with Governor Burham immediately.
Very well. I'll accompany you.
Let's be off.
Sir de Sardet, and our expedition. I thank you sincerely for having brought them back, Excellence. You are a providential man.
Please, sir. It was you who convinced me and my cousin of the capital importance of their research.
A research that has borne fruit, Your Excellency.
Truly? This is excellent news. You have found a plant with sufficient properties?
Not exactly. Know that during our captivity, an island woman visited the camp. The natives called her Tiena Hac Cadactus and treated her with utmost reverence. I heard them talk about a remedy, a universal remedy it seemed, that she had concocted.
How's that? Leamat radidnais yachtem?
Well, I grasp the basic of the local tongue, and I am certain to have heard the word yag. Remedy.
Surprising. But the Terna Hach is very powerful and very wise. It is possible that she did craft such a... Karants, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
De Sardet, I'd like to discuss something with you.
I'm listening.
My colleagues are only interested in the physiology of the islanders and consider everything else to be superstitions. However, if we want to understand how they are transforming, we need to take a look at their culture. The potions they drink, the dyes they use are surely the source of their physical changes.
Why not talk about it with Siora? It seems to me that she would be the best one to help you.
Siora is very suspicious of me. She will never betray the secrets of the Doneigada. But I was told about a place of ritual called Kurganau, decorated with carvings and offerings. By studying them, I hope to better understand what is possibly the greatest mystery of this century. But they call it a dangerous place, and I cannot go alone. Will you accompany me?
Very well. Understanding these transformations will surely be useful.
Thank you, de Sardet. I knew I could count on you. Let's go.
I'd like to speak to you. Bird Tear to Mud. Thank you for coming to talk to me. You are on Olmanawi, but you also look like a Lugaid Blau.
Lugaid Blau? Is that what you call the congregation?
Yes. Those who have yellow eyes on their banner.
They're coins. But to answer your question, yes. I'm the legate of the congregation.
Is legate the Renaigse word for on Olmanawi?
No. It means that I am in charge of diplomatic relationships with the other nations.
So I was right. You will be able to help us. Some of your clan are preventing us from accessing one of our sacred glades.
Really? Why would they do that?
Several seasons ago, some men from your clan came to ask us for wood for their houses. There were some old trees in this glade, so we let them do what they wanted. At first, everything was fine. But then they cut down too many trees. So we wanted to heal the place, plant some new trees, but they won't let us come close. Their bod irony, their warriors, are stopping us from doing so.
I could investigate.
Yes, please. You must tell them that they have to let us heal the glade.
give life back to the earth.
Do you not understand that...
What's happening here, soldier?
These islanders want to enter a plot of land that belongs to the congregation.
They are denying us access to the glade.
We must heal it. Otherwise, this land will die.
I am sorry, but we cannot let you enter this area.
But we only want to plant some new trees. Bring life back.
These people are fanatics, Your Excellency. Several woodcutters died last night, and I'm willing to bet that these savages had a hand in it.
You are killing the earth, so it kills you in return. All of you are cursed.
Shut it, you savage!
De Sardet, I am the legate of the merchant congregation on this island. I came to shed light on this affair. You said that some woodcutters died.
Aye, they fell sick and died a few hours later. Well, the camp doctor will be able to tell you more about it. You'll find him in the barracks right here.
Thank you, soldier. I'll go see him.
Please, Your Excellency, you may come in. Do not force us to use our weapons.
We do not want to shed blood. We want to give life back to the earth.
Do you not understand that these woods are sacred?
Hello, Doctor. I am the legate of the congregation. I was told about the disputes caused by this camp, and a soldier told me that several woodcutters died recently.
Yes. They got sick yesterday afternoon, and a few hours later they were dead. I couldn't do anything except watch them writhing in pain. None of my remedies worked. If seeing corpses doesn't bother you, you can come and see the bodies. They're here. I hope that whatever killed them is not contagious.
These poor woodcutters look like they've suffered. This one has a swollen tongue. Blood at the corner of the mouth. There are some peculiar red patches on the bodies. His eyes are bloodshot. This man choked to death. A strong smell of ammonia. The entrails must have been perforated.
The appearance of these bodies and the smell emanating from their mouths leaves me in no doubt. They were poisoned. That this doctor could have believed that this was simply an illness is beyond me.
I can't see anything else of interest.
Use our weapons.
We do not want to shed blood. We want to give life back to the earth.
Do you not understand that these woods are sacred?
So, what do you think? Do you recognize their disease?
They didn't die of disease. They were poisoned. There's no doubt about it.
You're probably right. But I've heard these savages talking so much about curses. So I thought it must be a mysterious disease, rather than seeing what was before my eyes. But how could these three men be poisoned?
I'm not sure. Do their symptoms not point to anything?
No. I've never seen such a deadly poison with these symptoms.
Have you noticed anyone unusual here?
Unusual? No.
You don't seem completely sure of yourself. Nobody could have just slipped in.
No, I assure you. The last ones to pass by here were the hunters who delivered us game 2 days ago.
Hunters?
Natives who bring us game regularly in exchange for knickknacks. But they've been restocking us for months. I struggle to believe that they're involved.
Well, we'll see what they have to say. Where can I find them?
They usually hunt on the edge of the wood that leads to this camp.
Do not force us to use our weapons.
We do not want to shed blood. We want to give life back to the earth.
Atoi! This is our prey, Renaigse. How can we earn our reward if you hunt our prey?
We only defended ourselves. These beasts attacked us. But take them. We do not intend to eat them.
Thank you. But what are you doing here, Renaigse, if you're not here to hunt?
We were looking for you.
Us? What do you want from us?
3 woodcutters were poisoned yesterday after eating what you brought them.
Poison? I swear we are not responsible for this.
Listen, all the clues lead to you, but it may simply have been an accident. How about you tell me exactly what happened?
It wasn't really an accident, but we did not want to kill them either.
Then tell me how it happened.
We did not decide to do this. We were trading beautiful things with the camp. But the Elder said that we would be traitors to our clan if we let the woodcutters cut down all the trees.
Which Elder?
One of the old men from the Gigidor, our village. He is very angry because we cannot heal the glade. He gave us the meat of an andrig killed by a venomous dosentats. Its flesh is perfectly edible when prepared with certain berries, but without them, eating it would be lethal. And since the Renaigse invaded our forest, these berries are nowhere to be found. He wanted it to be a lesson for them, so that they may understand that their destruction brings death.
I will not hold you responsible, but from now on you will no longer bring meat to this camp. You are the instruments of a hateful old man's vengeance. And I'm under the impression that there will be even more deaths if I do not get to the root of this problem.
The Vegigido elder thought it best to take vengeance into his own hands. I understand his anger, but Dunkus would not approve of this. He would say that bloodshed only leads to more bloodshed, and he wouldn't be wrong.
This whole thing could turn into an open war. We cannot let that happen. Sir de Corsillon will be able to give some advice on how to solve this property conflict, without violence. Greetings, Katasak.
Bertirtumat, what can I do for you?
How is my cousin doing?
He's filled with dread as death approaches. Forgive him his mood swings. He's such a young boy, and he had so much desire to live. Thanks to my treatment, he suffers less. But his disease is getting worse, and I don't know what to do. It would take a power far superior to mine to break the grasp of this evil.
Now that you've seen my cousin, what are your thoughts on the Malachor?
It is a terrible disease. I have never seen one like it. It slowly gnaws through the people it afflicts. Their eyes and legs gradually die because of the black blood, and the pain it induces is atrocious. My potions are barely enough to calm your cousin. But if you're asking if I know how to cure it, I have no idea. It's a disease coming from a world that isn't ours, and which I'm not familiar with.
Do you like it in New Serene?
No. Your village has smothered the earth. The smell of the woods has gone, and the singing of the birds is filled with anguish. I can barely feel my bond here. But don't worry. I will not leave before doing everything in my power to save your cousin.
I must go.
Kwa awalam seg.
Sir de Corsilion.
Desade, my young student, what can I do for you?
The mission you entrusted me with has made great progress.
Very well. Let's see. Good. You have traveled great distances, and the Terra Incognita will soon be but a distant memory. Keep doing what you're doing, Desade. Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
I've found no traces of Professor Seraphedin yet.
That's most regrettable. But keep looking for him, will you? You never know. Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
I have come to find you because I received a complaint from the natives of the village of Vigigador. They want to be able to access a clearing, exploited by our woodcutters, to heal it. To reforest it, I assume. But our men there say that it belongs to them, and are refusing to let the natives enter it. The site was supposedly ceded to them several months ago, but tensions are running high and some men have lost their lives. If we don't intervene, we're heading for a real confrontation.
It is very regrettable, and I approve of your desire to appease this conflict. According to what you have told me, if ever there was a contract, it must have been signed under our former governor. You should go to the archives and verify this. Then go and talk to Lady Laurine de Morange. And of course, I'll be delighted to help you once things have been clarified.
Thank you, Professor. Once more, you've been of great help.
Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
Do you have any news from my uncle?
Don't forget how long it took us to reach this shore. I don't think we'll receive any mail from the prince for some weeks, but I am certain that he would be very satisfied with your work here. Just like I am.
Did you know that the congregation have already tried to colonize this island in the past?
Oh, yes. I learned about it in some old archives, but the prince made me swear to keep it a secret.
And I suppose that you also knew that it's where I was born.
No, that part I guessed once I arrived here. But I knew that you were not the child of Madame de Sardet. I knew her husband, you see, and despite what you may have been told, you do not look like him. The portraits you saw had been modified to make it seem like you did. I'm sorry. I imagine that uncovering such a lie must have hurt you terribly. But you can be certain of one thing. Your mother loved you dearly.
But why? Why hide the truth from me for all this time?
I don't know. The prince has his own reasons, and he's the one you should be asking. As for your mother, I believe she eventually started believing her own lie.
What do you know about Lady Morange?
Laurine de Morange is a brilliant woman. The work that she has accomplished here is remarkable.
In that case, why did the prince strip her of her governor status?
For political reasons, obviously. Allowing someone so brilliant to govern a distance, she may have... What's more...
Looking forward to seeing you again, Sir de Courcilion.